we'll scrap that and we'll start again. So Bitcoin has been volatile over the last 24 hours. We've seen a bit of a move to the downside, we've seen a little bit of a bounce, and I think this is only the beginning of something much bigger. In today's video, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, sharing my thoughts and opinions with what I think is going on and where I think things are heading next. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful, informative, maybe even entertaining as I wade my way through the mud, then smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. So let's roll that intro and get right down into it. So we saw Bitcoin move down to $40,400 during the middle of the night here in the United Kingdom. And well, we saw that move as being a real interesting market decision for Bitcoin and for the crypto space, right? We had the potential of pushing up a little bit higher. We saw a lot of long positions kind of layering themselves in, and well, we did truncate, meaning that we kind of failed to reach that high that we were looking for, up between that $44,000 and $45,000 level. So we did find ourselves with heavy resistance. We found the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA being good support, but over the weekend they turned into resistance, and well, we got rejected. Once we got rejected from there, it was a bit of a free fall to the 200 EMA, where we couldn't find support, and we lost that too. Now, ultimately, these moves for Bitcoin are an indication that a reversal in the market is about to occur. Now, that's not to say that we can't bounce our way back up a little bit, because we absolutely can. But for the most part, my expectations are our swing high is now set in place. We're unlikely to break that unless we have flat-based corrections, which are irregular. But if everything kind of goes to plan here, then essentially we're going to be looking at tumbling down a lot further, which could be a bit of an early warning sign for you guys to maybe think about your positions. Now, obviously, I'm no financial advisor. I cannot give financial advice. All I can do is share my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. And in terms of that, I have a short position on Bitcoin. The position has a very healthy liquidation level to it, and such a high level, it's very unlikely to get hit, in my opinion. So I'm going to ride this down. At least my expectation is to ride this down towards the kind of $30,000 support levels, which I spoke about in this morning's video. So in terms of Bitcoin, we've seen $100 million of liquidations in the last 24 hours. So a pretty decent amount of liquidations have occurred. We saw 100 million total wiped out for BTC, of which OKX is the exchange with the most amount of liquidations at 41 million. We have 𝗕𝗄𝗪 in second place at 24 million. This is HTX, which of course we can see a bit of a bank run occurring right now, or an exchange run. We have concerns over hacks, security over at 𝗕𝗄𝗪, and so what we can see is basically a lot of withdrawals happening there. And so watch that space on 𝗕𝗄𝗪's exchange if you haven't done so already. HTX exchange, you just want to kind of keep a close eye on. But all in all, 100 million in liquidations kind of across the various different exchanges. Nothing unusual with the kind of exchanges and the kind of the rankings of who's liquidated the most or anything like that. Nothing terribly too unusual when it comes to that information. But what is quite alarming is 87.5% of all liquidations were long positions. I'll bring the chart up here so you guys can see. So 100 million and 87.5% of them were, of course, long positions. So we know that the long positions that were kind of getting layered in there, ahead of a potential surge, as many kind of bullish influencers across TikTok were kind of talking about, we have, of course, seen a complete dump in the market. Again, this is pretty common because Well, we see this time and time again. Essentially, when there's a large pool of liquidity to be grabbed, and specifically in long positions, it's going to be lower in the price chart. Where do those long positions get liquidated? That money is up for grabs for any potential whales that want to push the price into those areas, market makers as well. So we've seen a bit of a liquidity grab of around $100 million for Bitcoin. Now, as I said, I think this is the start of a bigger move. If we follow Elliott Wave theory, what we've got going on right now on Bitcoin is a 5-wave drop. This 5-wave drop is never in isolation, right? Either 5 waves up or 5 waves down. They are not all on their own, right? Essentially what we mean by this is if you have a 5-wave structure and you see a 5-wave pattern, then you're going to end with a 5-wave pattern. Start with 5, end with 5. And so we have a 5-wave drop on Bitcoin, meaning that we're more than likely to see a 3-wave bounce followed by another 5-wave drop. And so for Bitcoin, it finds itself at a very, very vulnerable position. Essentially, we're finding a critical moment for bulls to kind of try to rally up and break this structure, have a breakout event. You know, in order to do that, I think we have to hit above the $43,500. I'll try and put the number on the screen here for you guys. But I did talk about this in this morning's video. So we know what the bulls need to do, and the bears, well, the bears are in control at this point. And we can see the moves to the downside being something that the bears have been kind of trying to drive for quite some time. And well, we've been in a lot of green weeks consecutively, and now we're looking at pulling down. So the bears are in control here at the moment, and we'll see if the bulls can gain control of the situation and try to break Bitcoin out of this bearish pattern that it finds itself in. Personally, I don't think they're going to be able to, but we'll see how that kind of plays out over time. But for Bitcoin and for the wider crypto market, I expect more red to be seen. I think we're only really just starting to see the turn of this big rally to the upside. Hopefully I'm wrong, because, you know, I think we all love to see a bit of green in the market, and we want to see, you know, portfolios being really healthy and lots of gains. But considering the data that's available to me, taking a look at, you know, large investors not really backing the price move to the upside, we can see only retail investors really buying up the supply. The demand's very low. Essentially, I think we've got a bit of a recipe here for a bit of a disaster on Bitcoin, BTC, and the wider crypto market, including those altcoins. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting time in the next kind of couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, end of year. We'll see any institutions that do have exposure to Bitcoin potentially looking to balance their books. So do expect some selling pressure there as well. But all in all, I think, yeah, it could be a bit of a red month of December. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, but I think I'm going to wrap this video up right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.